Hey there. I've been spending a lot of time trying to think of what to draw. And I think I might just try to do a self-portrait. See how well I can do on that. So, this is gonna... I never really tried one of these before, so we'll try to see what we can do. Already, I feel like I'm messing up. I know a lot of people say that you need to, life drawings are what really help you improve. I think it just depends on your preference. Like, some people, eventually you'll probably build up to that. I know I used to always draw whatever I saw as a kid. And then, of course, then you want to draw things that really interest you. Like, I mean, again, it comes to anime, comic books, stuff like that. Oh, this is gonna be crappy. Let's see. You know what? We are going to... Let's see. I am definitely gonna adjust this as I go along. Try to get you some simple deals here. This one I was trying to do some modeling of myself, not for anyone else, but just kind of get down some poses. Also, if you don't have trouble trying to find an image or reference to that you've really been trying to, yeah, I guess kind of nail down, this might be the best way to do it. Let's see. I tried to add in the photo that I was copying too. Let's see. I always thought of trying to get someone to draw me anime form. I know a lot of times when people are drawn in that style, it's like, oh, that person doesn't look anything like that. But, or, you know, they may have basic features, but there's it definitely varies. Yeah, something like that. You know what? I'm going to try to not erase as much and just get going with this. Let's see. In the camera. Sorry, I'm looking back at the photo constantly. Of course, you can't see that, but then that's what all those pauses are for. Kept talking myself out of doing this. I was like, oh, maybe I'll find an anime character or something like that. I don't know if y'all have ever seen the anime series. It's like a Bakemonogatari series. And it's very confusing if, even when you, like, the way it was made wasn't, like, straightforward. It was meant to be kind of jumped around in the story. So you may see something that, it's like, wait. When you see the first part of the series, it kind of seems like it can make sense. But then it seems like you missed out on a lot of stuff, which you kind of did, but didn't. Because the series wasn't actually, like, let's say, it's about this kid who meets a vampire, or a high schooler. And he meets this vampire and kind of becomes a vampire himself. But it doesn't really tell you that part. It just shows him being part of a vampire in the first part of it. And then throughout this story, he meets new people. And oh, this is not looking right. Sorry, guys. Throwing me off. But he, at this point, he's already a vampire. And he meets this person who, another high schooler who has some issues, but he helps her out. And the more the story goes on, it'll be like way later that you find out how he became a vampire in a totally different season. And I don't want to butcher it, actually, guys. So I would just say I would recommend watching Bakemonogatari series, and also knowing you might want to look up the way it released first and just watch it that way, because eventually it'll all make sense. But other than that, yeah, that's I was like, oh, there's a few characters on there that are very interesting and would be pretty cool to draw. Let's see, got the phone here. And just get the basic form of that real quick. And again, still need to get better at shading. I might look a little more ripped on this drawing than I actually really do. That's one thing though, passion of mine is of fitness. I kind of fell away from it. Trying to get back into it. And right now I have my headphones in, so hopefully y'all can hear all this with me turning back and forth. Let's see. And I was actually, if any of y'all are thinking about working out, or maybe y'all do, or whatever, it's I know I kind of messed up my. I used to do a lot more like body weight stuff growing up, and then kind of started implementing like weights. And I think it was a good foundation to have started with body weight first, doing push-ups and whatnot, sit-ups, and just body weight squats and running. Basically, is all I did. Helped me out a lot to actually be stronger. When I got in high school, I did powerlifting, and then I knew I was actually quite a bit stronger than the people who just did football. But I would say then I took a 2-year break, some period, and then went on and off of working out. That's not very good. It actually, I think it was probably due to the weights mostly, because then of course I was starting to lift heavy. And then when, taking that long period of a break, it just kind of ruined. I noticed my muscles got very weak, like especially my glutes and stuff like that. And I started having hip issues. So if any of y'all are thinking about working out or anything like that, I would say definitely look into a way of working out, or starting off with just body weight, free weight stuff, something like that. You may not be seeing the gains you really want to see, but it's definitely going to help you in the long run. And I would recommend that far more than just damaging your body a little more. And then, you could build up to weights afterwards. So right now I'm trying to train myself, get back to all that. So, man, I need to learn how to shade too. This is... I think that's one thing. I know I talk about passion a bit, and that's mostly because I know I held off on a lot of stuff or got sidetracked because of certain things I placed responsibility on more than I should have. I mean, everyone has bills to pay, and sometimes money is tough to come by, it seems like. But we should never let that hold us back. I had buddies who were, they had nothing, and they ended up moving like from state to state, but they experienced so much, and so much more than I did. And I'm not a jealous person, but I would say I kind of became envious over that whole deal, because it was like I wanted to do that, but I let bills get in the way of me. I know this is, I'm mostly doing on here, but I do talk a bit about, I guess, improvement and not holding yourself back and stuff like that. I think it's important for people to really, especially with the whole, let's say the virus that's been going around, or the pandemic. I remember a lot of people told me when I was younger, like, make sure you have job security. And that really amounts to nothing right now. A lot of people, unfortunately, lost their jobs, and they were, they went for job security. Of course, there's some jobs that are, let's say, more stable than others, which is good. But it makes people rethink a lot. And there was a lot of people I knew that were, let's say, had their own businesses, entrepreneurs. Yes, a lot of those went down. But these are not like the mom and pop shops. These are just people who kind of let's say they might have been the right field, whether it's video editing, or it seems like a lot of YouTubers, they actually flourished in all this. A lot of creative people for the most part. And then of course people were also finding ways to improve their business, to work along something that wouldn't be, you don't have to be right next to somebody or go into an actual physical store. And so it's just, I think it's important for us to not delay on things that we wanted to do or wish we could have done. And I do absolutely understand, because I went through it myself, where I wasn't able to do things because I didn't have the money. But maybe I wasn't, like I said, I put too much importance on certain other things that were not really all that important. I mean, it's important, but it's like, you need to invest in yourself is an important thing, I think. And too often we put that aside. Traveling the world, my creativity, I put that aside because I thought, oh, paying bills, which is, again, is super important, but I'd be so into pay bills early, or the moment I got money, it's like, okay, time to pay bills, and it wouldn't be due. So I didn't really get to invest in myself and enjoy things that were actually, like my friends going to other countries, or just even buying things for themselves. I'd help other people along the way, which I wanted to, but it was kind of more of a, if someone asked for help, it's like, well, they wouldn't ask for help unless they needed it, right? So those things kind of got in the way, I think. Putting other people's priority above yourself. So I try to be an advocate on not doing that. And when people question me on like where my money went, and if I told them I helped someone so out or whatever, or just went to helping other people, they kept on stressing, you need to worry about yourself and not others. And I just thought, oh, well, they don't have a relationship with their family like I do. But years and years later, you kind of realize certain things. And it's not like you're thinking, oh yeah, people were dragging me down. It's just like, I do need to take care of myself. I do want to enjoy myself. But that's why you have to kind of break that cycle. No one's going to do it for you. If anything, most people will try to take more and more advantage of you if they can. So let's see if I could get this. And I know, nowadays we can't really we use the internet to talk to people, get our feelings out. I think part of this, this is a good way for me to get like my art out, music, things that I want to do, but also maybe express myself, venting a little bit. I don't really like to do that, like publicly, but sometimes we need that, right? Let's see, this will probably give us a little more detail. Is there a certain art studio that y'all like? whether it's Western or Eastern. I know a lot of the art I like was on, I know, like, let's say for anime, there's an art studio called Bones. They did, Soul Eater's a big one. They've done plenty of good stuff, but again, the art just looks so simple and clean. It's really cool. I notice I like that more. I love detailed stuff, but just something about simplicity is, you know, when you can basically tell what something is, but you don't need it to be broke down in a complex structure. I think that's another thing that will help people, you know, if you're looking for things to draw or whatnot, that drawing, look up a studio. You may not know what you want to draw, but then it's like, okay, well, let's see what the studio has and go from there. Okay, well, I'm going to say this again. I'm probably going to look way different than this, but I think I'm just about done. I'm going to try to get a little more of this shading in. Yeah. I'll see what I can. And I'd like to see how accurate y'all think this is. The hair's a bit more messy in the actual photo, so we'll see. I think that's all right though. So yeah, I'd like to see what you have to say. I know at this point I have very few followers, but you know, anyone who's coming by and just watching, whether you subscribe or not, I'd appreciate it. Or leaving a like or anything like that. That would do pretty good for me. And again, if you don't, then that just shows me I need to improve on something. Gonna think of more things to draw, and then also, I don't know why I'm doing this. But yeah, think of more things to draw, and then also just topics to talk about. I know sometimes you know, just put something out there, and maybe I'll put some music on instead of talking. But that being said, everyone have I mean, it's night here, but just have a good day or night wherever you're at, and just be yourself, progress in what you want to do. Sometimes you got to push yourself and motivate yourself, so you can't rely on others to help you do that. And just you can be inspired, or you know, have people kind of motivate you in a way, but you're the person who has to do it yourself. You know. But yeah, so that being said, yeah, just have a great day and be careful, be safe.